One day I opened my desk drawer and found an old phone, tangled jars, and a pair of broken earbuds. They have been sitting there for a long time, forgotten. At first, it just looked like clutter, things I didn't need anymore, things I thought has no value. I almost closed the jar and ignored them again. But then I paused and started to wonder, where do these things actually go after we throw them away? Every year, millions of people around the world replace their phones, laptops, and other electronic devices. Technology moves fast and we are constantly encouraged to upgrade. When something breaks or becomes outdated, we often throw it away without thinking twice. We assume that it will be recycled properly, that it will somehow be handled responsibly, but what if that's not really true? What if what we throw away doesn't disappear but simply moves somewhere else out of sight? In a PBS investigation, researchers wanted to find out exactly what happens to the electronic waste. They placed GPS tracker inside all electronic devices, such as printers and computers. Then they dropped these devices off at recycling centers across the United States. The expectation was simple. These items would be recycled safely and responsibly. But the result told a very different story. Instead of staying in the United States, many of these devices were shipped overseas. They traveled thousands of miles to places like Hong Kong and other parts of Asia. There, they ended up in a large East-West site, far from the communities that originally used them. What was supposed to be recycling became something much more complicated. In this East-West site, electronic devices are often dismantled by hand. Workers break apart phones and computers to recover small amounts of valuable material like copper and gold. Wires are burned and components are smashed open. But this process releases toxic chemicals into the air, soil, and water. Substances like lead, mercury, and other harmful metals can seriously damage human health. People working in this environment are often exposed without proper protection. Children and families living nearby are especially at risk. Over time, the toxic material can contaminate entire communities. What started as a simple decision to throw something away can have consequences that reach across the world. So what can we do? The problem may seem large, but our individual choices do matter. We can start by being more mindful of what we buy and how often we replace our devices. Instead of upgrading frequently, we can use our electronics for a longer time. We can also choose certified recycling programs that follow responsible practices. Donating, repairing, or reusing devices can help reduce waste. Small action, when repeated by many people, can create meaningful change. That old phone in my drawer is not just trash. It is part of much larger story, one that connected my everyday life to people and places far away. It reminds me that what we throw away doesn't simply disappear. It continues to exist somewhere in ways we don't always see. And maybe by becoming more aware of that journey, we can begin to make a better choices. Thank you so much.